while you're doing this?
Are we live? We're live. So we're doing Daily 3 Prep Huddle Live. We're not sure what we're titling this yet. Whatever showed up, there's a notification on my phone.
There it is. You can read it, what I did.
Prep Huddle Live plus the Daily 3. We are at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Let's just talk about 3 things, though.
3 things. All right, 3 things to talk about. Well, one is soccer, one is track, one is baseball, which we haven't discussed in our pre-show at all. Some district tracks going on today as the salad gets taken away now. Austin's done with his fries. Taylor's done with his salad. I downed my wrap in about 4 seconds. So, some good marks. We just you know, you got to search a lot on Twitter to find good sports stuff. We just found out that High Plains senior Andrew Schuler had a district winning toss in the discus of 164-1, which puts him in the top 10 in the state for all classes as we were looking at it.
Yeah, Andrew, I think we remember, I'm trying to remember the whole situation last year at state track. Was it Andrew in the shot put? High Plains had 2 guys in the shot put and were just behind Heartland, and they needed both of them to medal or some weird points thing. I mean, that was a great race, that team race at state in Omaha last year. And I think Andrew was the one who kind of put High Plains over the top to beat Heartland in that state for the state class championship last year, class team.
And then we were looking at the all class listings for the guys specifically here because we had it pulled up, and a lot of Striv kids. There's one at the top of the all class mark in the high jump, Mason Connor. And if you heard part of the story from the guy that got second, when Mason goes 7-1, you heard the story from Miles Griffith of St. Paul, who that day Miles went 6'10". That leads Class C in the high jump. Miles goes 6'10". He will never forget that because he got second that day, going 6'10", because Mason Connor went 7-1. That leads the state. So we got some leapers amongst the Striv schools.
Yeah, you look at the high jump, and I believe, if I remember correctly, 2 years ago, before Miles won, he beat Jacob Highcamp from Syracuse, who's also an excellent high jumper there. So high jumpers and pole vaulters seems to be a thing we have that we do well at the Striv schools. I know we were just discussing Ben Drever. It looks like he's gone over, has leads the state now. Of course, he and Phelan Sanford had a great battle last year in the pole vault for the all-class mark, I believe. Tice Ruza, I'm looking at your sheet at Gothenburg at 14:10, so he would be second in class. I don't know if Gothenburg should B or C in track. That'd probably be one we'd have to.
I would say that might be me, actually.
Yeah, so they'd probably be it. But you know, 3 of the top 4 pole vaulters in the state are Striv schools, and then there's a Mick there at the bottom leading Class D.
Yeah, in Class D, another Mick from BDS that can pole vault. Didn't you figure that? This is Thomas. He leads Class D currently at 14-1. So kind of fun to follow along. And here's the girl. Nope. So then they've got it broken down by class. Here's where we've got it. So some fun stuff, obviously, with district track going on today. State soccer is also beginning today up in Omaha. They had a little weather delay earlier, but Creighton Prep and Omaha South, which was a rematch from last year's Class A championship game, was the first game of the day, and Creighton Prep comes up 2-0 to take that win, so they're into the semifinals, where they await the winner of the game going on right now that is at halftime, and that is Kearney and Grand Island. Here we are in Grand Island, but Kearney with a 1-0 lead over the Islanders, a match from the regular season that the Islanders won over the Bearcats.
Yeah, that went Grand Island's way here in Grand Island about April 13th, I think it was, and it was a shootout. Grand Island's an interesting team. I think they're 11-6, and I think they won, Eric, either 4 or 5 of their matches by shootout. They won both their district matches in shootouts. They won 2 conference tournament games, I know, in shootouts. And so they've played a lot of close games this year, and that's a fun rivalry. Jeremy Jensen, who's actually our mayor, is the coach for Grand Island Senior High, and him and Scott Steinbrook, Scott does a great job, has always done a great job over at Kearney High. Great friends, and that's a really good rivalry. Those are 2 guys that that promote their sport very well out here in Central Nebraska.
Yeah, Kearney and Grand Island, we've gotten to get that a little closer since Kearney has joined with Striv in the last year. So it's been fun to follow along with those guys, and it really doesn't matter if it's soccer or if it's football or basketball or quiz bowl or whatever it might be. If it's Kearney and Grand Island and they're competing, there's a little extra on the line, to be sure.
Absolutely.
People have questions.
People have questions.
We want if they do.
If you have questions, absolutely. We'll answer as best we can.
For Eric. Questions for Eric.
We will answer as best we can. So some more soccer games and matches going on yet today. The originally 3 o'clock game, I'm sure this will get bumped back just a little bit. In Class A for the boys is going to be Westside, the 1 seed, taking on Lincoln East, the 8 seed. And then a little bit later on will be Millard West and Lincoln North Star. Millard West, the 5 seed. They were state champions 2 years ago in 2015. A program that has been there plenty. Michael Doria in his 2nd season with the Wildcats, but this is not an unfamiliar spot for them either.
Yeah, I think we look at soccer at Millard West, both the boys and girls. I think the girls won it in 15 and 13, so they got that odd year thing going on. This might be another time for them. They play Westside again. I was looking back. We were doing that state soccer preview yesterday. The Millard West girls have not allowed a goal in the first round of the state tournament in like their last six years. So they've been to the semifinals, I think, 6 years in a row. And they do it right there. Both of those programs do. And so it'll be interesting to see if and how they can advance. North Star, a good matchup for them. North Star was probably the best team in the city of Lincoln, and Lincoln East got in too. And then you look at West Side for the Millard West girls, which is a team that they beat 2-1 early in the season. You know, Millard West girls, they won their first 8, and then they kind of have been, I think they're about 5-3 over the last 8 matches, so up and down, and we'll see how it goes for the Wildcats the rest of the year too. A freshman leads them in goals scored this year for Millard West.
Especially in the metro area, and getting and I'm sure getting out here to Grand Island, youth soccer is just, it's so big. There's so many opportunities to go watch. I don't even know how young they start now, 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, but it's a league out here at about that age. Yeah.
So some really cool opportunities. We have one Strive school in the Class B race in the boys' side, and it was a team that was kind of the feature for the state soccer preview, and that was Schuyler. They're the 3 seed, taking on Lutheran High Northeast and Norfolk Catholic. Today, and they're the late game, scheduled to be at 8 o'clock, so it might be a little bit later before they start, but the Warriors are 17-2 on the season, and it doesn't, those guys have an amazing ability to focus just on that ball and just on that pitch to kind of wipe out everything else.
It was a fun story. I talked to Coach BB on the phone yesterday morning, and of course they've kind of been in the news here lately, that just the community of Schuyler has for well-written piece by their athletic director, Jim Kasich, about kind of what they face and what some other schools like them face with the demographics of their school. And so it was a really neat to kind of get in touch with Coach Beebe. You know, they've been to state 6 of the last 7 years. They've been to the finals 2 times in school history, and he feels like they've got a goalkeeper who is an all-stater, Jose Gonzalez. He's only given up, I think, 14 goals in 19 games, and so it's easy to play. It's easy to play soccer when you're not giving up many goals. And then they've got 5 seniors. 4 of those are their top goal scorers, except the junior leads them, Aldera Castorona, and then Gonzalez is their other senior. So a lot of senior leadership. And I think when I went through the numbers, 17 guys have scored goals for the Warriors this year, so a lot of balance as well.
And then on the baseball side, which is hard to believe it, but yes, baseball season is coming to its close as their state tournament will get underway on Saturday. Millard West is back there on the Class A side. They get West Side in the first round matchup. Millard West is 21-8 on the year, scheduled to start at 4 o'clock there at Warner Park. West Side is 19-13, and the Wildcats, this state tournament thing, this is not new for them either.
Yeah, you'd think somebody from Miller will probably advance to the finals. Look at the bottom half of that bracket. it's Millard West, West Side, Millard South, Millard North. So they'll probably get somebody there. Of course, the one everybody watches there from Millard West is Colby Gomez, who's a Nebraska recruit, a good pitcher, and I think maybe plays shortstop as well when he's not pitching. I'm not 100% sure on that, but Millard West has done it right for a long, long time in baseball, and I'd expect they'll last a while at the state baseball tournament, which is a double elimination tournament, which is a little bit district. In districts, they play just single elimination, so it's a really interesting format. You think of baseball as a double elimination sport, but they play single elimination, 4-team districts, and they bring 2 wild cards in to the state tournament. Then it's a double elimination from there on out.
Yep, so some fun stuff, and don't forget that, of course, district track going on today for some, tomorrow for others. The weather's going to play some havoc on different things. We've already seen some districts that have been moving back times due to some forecasted weather in the morning. So I know one that we were kind of keeping an eye on was at Thayer Central. They're going to start at noon instead of at 10, so everything gets bumped back 2 hours. And whatnot, but that's being an athletic director in not just Nebraska, but in the Midwest in the springtime has got to be just absolutely miserable, because you got to spend 85% of your time on the phone trying to reschedule stuff, right?
The spring has to be way worse than the fall. The fall, you get kind of that warm weather coming in, and in the spring you can't get the cold weather out. I mean, here we were last week, basically the day before May, dealing with snow on the ground here in Grand Island on May 1st, which is just ridiculous. So, spring golf is just brutal, and track, you get, half of your meets are brutal, and then by this time it's the state meet, it should probably be 90 next weekend. Yeah. We'll be wishing it was spring again.
We'll be begging for 60 degrees next week, is what it is. So I think, unless we've got questions, Austin.
No, I wrote a comment from Tony's phone saying, you're saying if you have questions,
gotcha.
No,
none. That's it. Okay, well,
but you can leave a comment anytime.
You can always leave a comment.
We'll get the notification.
Checking the Twitterverse, I don't think there's anything new and exciting. Kearney and Grand Island, 50 minutes to go.
50 minutes
50
in,
minutes in, excuse me. 50 minutes
40
in.
40 minutes left, so they're up 5 minutes into the second half.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep, and Kearney's still leading Grand Island 1-0 at state. So that's what we know, and that's what we'll go with until we are told otherwise. So I guess we'll say thanks for watching us from Buffalo Wild Wings in Grand Island. We'll get some Prep Huddle Live. I believe, if I looked at the calendar right, I think next week is the last Prep Huddle Live.
Yeah, that would be right.
Of the season. And don't forget that the Striv U Awards are due next week too.
Yes.
So for anybody in those are Striv schools, so you get your submissions in for the Striv U Awards. They're due next Wednesday, a week from today, and then we'll have the announcement on the 31st of May in run-up to the Striv All-Star Classic, which is June 3rd. York High School, girls at 6. 3-point challenge, skills challenge. We don't know quite yet what we're doing with the skills.
Tony's going to make it up.
We're going to make it up on the fly, maybe?
We have 5 viewers, so keep it going.
So we could...
6.
6 viewers?
I guess I'll have to find some YouTube All-Star Game skills challenge.
And I want to do a 4-point shot.
And a 4-point shot.
I want to get something on the court.
Sticker.
Yeah.
So... Taylor does know we have David Widget coming, so
yes.
David could shoot it from like half court, so we'll have to see where that 4-point shot is. Because otherwise you might just spot up there, set a Striv All-Star Classic record for most 4s in a game.
I have to do a dunk contest too.
Good.
See what we got. Last year we had some guys.
Miles Griffith can probably dunk.
You know what? So funny story. All right, we're gonna bag on Miles a little bit. So. Last week, Austin and I go to St. Paul to shoot the video for the Athlete Spotlight. We're meeting Miles in the gym. Well, so he's in there and he's kind of shooting around, and Buddy joins him. And as Austin and I are getting the cameras and the lights set up, Miles gets one up, throws it down, and I kind of jokingly said, "Well, we expect about 4 or 5 of those in the All-Star game," and he goes, "Well, That's the thing. I'm not really a great dunker. Like, kid 6'3", can high jump almost 7 feet. I'm like, you can get your butt over a bar at 7 feet, but you can't dunk? And then we watched him.
Well.
And, yeah, it's not great, but
Stick to high jump.
yeah, high jump. Now, we did figure that if we put a ball between his feet and told him to jump over the bar, he'd have no problem getting the ball up and over the rim for a dunk. So we'll have to see what Miles is feeling like that day, I guess.
All right, so Terry Douglas is watching.
Oh, God.
I got 1 to 5 T-Chaps is downing a Diet Coke.
Pepsi.
Okay,
Pepsi.
don't sell Diet Coke.
And
Thanks for watching, Terry.
I'd much rather it wasn't Diet Coke, Terry Dog.
You're still sipping.
Oh, I'm still sipping. Yeah, we're going blueberry Red Bull today. It's pretty good. I don't think I've had the blueberry.
Viewers keep going at 8 now.
Now we're at 8. Oh, now we got to just keep going.
Some people have real jobs, though, that they have to get back to.
Your wife called.
At some point. Yeah, my wife
42.
called. Yeah, so I'm probably in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm probably not in trouble. We'll see. We'll see.
Good stuff.
By the way,
Austin's producing.
okay, while I'm watching TweetDeck right now, there are getting to be some schools that their use of GIF in Twitter is amazing. Like, I have seen so much Ric Flair being as used in Twitter to celebrate kids going to state because they're a district qualifier. It's awesome.
Brad Bunner.
Brad Bunner
will be a
400.
good follow at the state track meet next week. He was they were Class C last year. I'm not sure if they're D. If he's running today, they might be D.
Yep.
Zoom in right here.
So we'll have to see.
That's got to be
Ric Flair,
Clarkson, right?
Yeah.
Clarkson
So
running that.
we'll have to follow Brad, a 200, 400, 100 guy. He was basically right behind Austin Store at every race last year. And another kid that'll be fun to see play in the 8-man All-Star game in June.
Let's talk golf.
There you go.
Okay, I got 2 minutes.
You got 2 minutes. Let's talk golf. Players Championship. TPC Sawgrass gets a little reconfiguration. Number 12 goes from a
This is not going to last 2 minutes, by the way.
ho-hum par 4 to a drivable, exciting par 4.
Was that the silly hole with all the mounds in front of it before? Yeah.
So they take the mounds out. Now there's water down the left. So if you go straight at the green, you've got to carry all this water. Or you can hit, like wedge. But how many of these pros are doing that? It makes it real interesting all of a sudden, doesn't it? Almost makes it a match play course.
It'll be fun to watch. I'm watching a few interviews over the week that the players feel like the course is maybe a little bit softer, might be a little bit easier. Maybe we'll see 20, 15 under par or something. It's always a fun one. I saw the players in pink on Sunday for Mother's Day.
Right.
Players a great event. One of my faves.
Ricky Fowler also ace 17 in the practice round today. So that's that. That's all we got. Tony has an actual job to get back to. So thanks for watching us today at Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks for BWWs for hosting us here today. And we'll get you next week on Prep Huddle Live.